Robin Williams, he's an actor that I don't think is very good, but I used to like him a lot as a kid. But like as an adult, you're just kind of like, I don't really care. He actually does a really good job. He plays a delusional creep. And it's a movie that I don't think is the most well-written movie in the world, but has a really great concept, has a really great central Robin Williams performance, and it's actually very well directed and well shot. It's directed by this guy named Mark Romanek, who has only directed, I think, 3 features in his life, but he's directed hundreds of music videos. The way the color and the lighting changes between different things. Sometimes he'll be in a scene that looks blue and then it'll change into something that looks green because Robin Williams is in a different location. And it's really quite nice. And he does a really good job at filming spaces to make it seem really big compared to the people that are in it. And the central concept is maybe a little bit dated now, but it's still pretty good. It's just the idea of what if the guy that you take your photos to develop film essentially attaches himself to you and develops this very unhealthy relationship with you.
Yeah.
So it this guy who is very, very lonely and he has no one. And he essentially creates this idea. It has nothing to do with pedophilia because it's like about this parents and this kid that he develops his fascination with.
Hmm.
He doesn't want to be with the mom nor with the dad. He wants to be a part of the family like an uncle. He's developed this imaginative universe in which he is their uncle and he gets to hang out in their house and stuff with them. And
Sure.
that's it, you know? It's
That's
like,
it.
it's very funny because you think it'll go in these very crazy directions and it does. But it's just funny to imagine this guy, like his fascination, this fixation he's developed is that he wants to be an uncle. Very funny. He doesn't want to be a dad. He doesn't want to
Yeah.
be a husband. He doesn't want to sexually abuse the kid. He wants to be the uncle of the family, which is very, very, very funny. And it's sad too. It's like very sad, because Rob Williams does it really well. He actually plays the character really well. And again, sometimes like the movie can be kind of leading in its writing a little bit. Some things seem more believable than others. I think the music is a little manipulative too, but it kind of reminds me of King of Comedy a little bit in terms of the level of the uncomfortable nature of the movie on some scenes where
Yeah.
he's following and he's like, "Oh, you're here too. I'm also here." Like he's like following members of the family and he like runs into them as if on accident.
Yeah.
He's like hanging out with them and talking with them and asking them questions and stuff. And it's very uncomfortable to watch those scenes. Very effectively uncomfortable. And of course, progression of the king of comedy, he thinks he's going to be in this family, this perfect family, but then something kind of sets him off that makes him realize that the family isn't perfect. And so he becomes violent. They don't really make movies like that anymore, really, where it's like maybe they do, but I don't know. I kind of miss movies like that. It's like a really good looking movie and it's not perfect, but it's effectively creepy. I'm sure it made a lot of money when it came out. It didn't seem like an expensive movie. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see how much money it made because it didn't. I actually don't know that for sure. Maybe it didn't. Yeah, the movie cost $12 million and the box office was $52.2 million.
Oh
You know
shit.
what I mean? It's just kind of like the economics of it makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
You get
But they
this
don't.
movie, you get a
Yeah.
good cast of people, and you just make a well shot, well oiled script. It doesn't have to be perfect or manicured. It just has to be effective in its creepiness and its unsettlingness. There's no monsters or ghosts or whatever in the movie either. There's maybe like one special effect in the movie that's very great. And then it costs nothing. And it's great because it's kind of has like the salaciousness to it. So they don't make them like they used to. Even
They
like
don't make
the
them like.
movie's like over 20 years old now. It's true.
It's a dying genre. The middle of the road film, right? Films that don't cost a lot of money to make, and you're
Yeah, like
not
this
making
like
billions of
thriller kind of thing,
but they're making enough.
Yeah.
And I guess you kind of still see that in the world of Blumhouse, but that's very specific. That's still horror, right? Blumhouse's whole idea is we shoot a shit ton of movies, $1 million, and then they'll make 10 or 15 million. But that doesn't just have to be horror. All different genres can do that. And they used to be, especially I feel like in the 90s, 2000s, we kind of played with that a lot. And again, in the 30s and 40s, where every film doesn't need to cost, $150 million to make and need to gross $1 billion.
No.